This is the Van de Graaff generator. It's got a variable speed here. You can turn it on, and basically you can turn it up as fast as you want. But if the belt starts to shake back and forth, it's about to self-destruct. If you find that it's not charging, okay, typically what happens is it's starting to charge up real good here. There we go. That's kind of fun. And then it's about 10,000 volts per inch of dry air here, so we got some good charge. And so one of the things I like to show, get the speed up here, is that when it discharges, the motor runs faster, slower, right? And of course, what's going on there is that as the dome charges up, right, the belt has to work harder to carry that charge up to the dome, which is kind of cool, right? And there's lots of demos you can do. There's a little piece of tape underneath that bottom one, right? And these should come flying off all by themselves. It's not going to fly off because it's taped on, right? Okay. So that's the general high chain thing we can do. You can also, as you stand here, of course, this thing is charging negatively. You can put your hand here, and of course that hand is going to charge positively, and you can appear to draw them off of the Van de Graaff. And then what I do is I've got a styrofoam block here, so to do the thing where the kids make their hair stand on end, okay? I have them stand on the block like that. And then I've got a mirror so I can show them what their hair looks like, because they kind of want to see that, right? I take pictures of it too. Right? But this is the general thing, right? Put your hand on it. This hand, you want to keep this hand at your side. And you just want to shake your head, And kids with like shoulder length, really fine hair, that's about the best. Okay. So anyway, this is what's going on here. So you get the head, shake the head, right, and then you can bump fists, right. If you want to shock someone, you can bump fists with them, like that. But I always ask, kids who have electrical irregularities with their hearts probably shouldn't be shocking themselves with Van de Graaff. But you can have one person on there, right, and then you can have kids join hands and bump fists. And you want to bump fists because a finger will spray charge, right? That concentrates or makes the electric field stronger where the fingertip is, right? Just because of the geometry of it. But a fist, right? A fist has a weaker electric field around it. It's more like a sphere. And so if you bump fists, you can get closer without actually spraying that charge across and discharging before it does a little spark gap, right? And that's why this thing is a sphere, right? For showing the sparks. This is kind of fun. This is a little vein like that, and again, the geometry of this is going to concentrate, make a very strong electric field there. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to spray charge. It's going to spray charge off of there. It's going to electrons will jump onto the air molecules and spray that way, right? Well, if it sprays the air this way, of course there's going to be a force acting on this the other way. Let's see if we can get this to spin. Doesn't want to spin. Here. There we go. It's sort of tilted. I needed to bend the thing there, but it'll spin pretty well like that. So if this thing stops charging, you want to clean that tube out really well so that you get gunk in there, like little bits of the rubber belt. Clean that tube out. Just take it all apart and run a towel through there, clean that up. Polish the outside of this, get some cleaner, and polish the outside of it. If there's rough edges on there, get rid of those rough edges because those will spray charge into the air. And then you can take this top off. You can take the top off. Take me to your lead. Sorry. Anyway, and there's a little set of brushes there, and that's where the charge leaps off onto the dome. And then once it's on the dome, of course, you can't get back on the belt because it stays on the outside of the dome. But you want to make sure those are positioned, you know, away from the belt, not touching the belt. And then basically just down there, there's a wool pulley. There's a pulley with wool on it, and the wool rubbing against the rubber charges the rubber negatively. I know it charges negatively because this thing will repel the cathode rays of the cathode ray tube. And you can blow bubbles. You can blow bubbles. You can get Rice Krispies and put them on your hand, and if you're standing up there, you can open your hand up, and the Rice Krispies will, of course, fly away from you. If you want to be kind of mean, if a kid is standing up there with their all charged up, if you put Rice Krispies on your hand and get close to the kid, the Rice Krispies will fly across the space and stick to the kid. That's not very nice. But it's how they, I think that's how they do powder coating. They use electrostatics. Like the powder paint can stick to whatever it is. And you can look it up. There's a whole bunch of demos. I always have a spare Van de Graaff belt just sort of sitting around because they, and back in that cabinet you'll find there's a little thing that you can use to pull the belt up from the bottom to the top. And I think that is all the Van de Graaffing that we need to talk about. Oops. It's not going to do it. This thing will do it. All right. Oops, it didn't do it.